of Indonesia, Tzu volunteers continue to help flood survivors in Manado while inspiring them to join the Buddhist NGO. Taiwan Tzu volunteers help 91-year-old Grandma Huang in Taipei clear away garbage and unused items inside her house. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. Indonesia, following the January flooding in Manado of North Sulawesi, Tzu volunteers have continued to care for residents, helping them on the path to recovery. Volunteers recently returned to help renovate 2 schools and also held a volunteer training seminar where many flood survivors were inspired to take part.
Here at an international hotel in Manado of North Sulawesi, Augustina, who is an assistant manager, is taking on a different role today as a volunteer for Tzu.
I first met Tzu following the flooding in our hometown. Tzu volunteers came and stayed in this hotel. At first, we had no idea that the volunteers were here to assist Manado residents.
The January flooding brought Tzu to the residents of Manado, knowing that every penny of the donations made to Tzu will go to help those in need. Augustina began inviting family and friends to join the charity organization. Of her 131 members, many are her colleagues from work.
From when volunteers first arrived, they have worked hand in hand not only to help us, but needy residents around the globe.
On January 15th, severe flooding in Manado damaged many residential buildings, and since then, Tzu has remained by the residents' side as they rebuilt their homes. Today, at the volunteer training seminar, many of the 86 participants were flood survivors who wanted to pay the love forward.
I'm inspired to join Tzu because of all the help my family received in the aftermath of the flood. Today, it is my turn to reciprocate.
I've witnessed the sincerity of Tzu volunteers who came all the way to Manado from Jakarta to carry out relief work for our residents. I'm inspired to join and help one another through our actions.
Having met Tzu, residents of Manado all feel the love and warmth of this big family. To provide a better environment for students, Tzu volunteers called on some 60 parents and teachers to help give Maria Magdalena Kindergarten and St. Colinas Elementary School a big makeover.
It has been great so far. They were all prepared for the day's work, and from the results of their work, you can see how eager they were in taking part in the event.
Once the building materials are ready, volunteers, parents and teachers work to rinse the mud off the wall before giving all the classrooms a fresh coat of paint.
Every parent should have their own point of perspective. I'm happy to join such renovation work because it feels like you're cleaning your own house. After all, my child comes to school here too.
Tzu helped us a great deal before, so now we should reciprocate that love. We are happy to volunteer and will always be delighted to provide assistance to anyone in need.
To reciprocate Tzu's help following the January flooding, Manado residents give a helping hand in renovating the school buildings. Despite their religious and ethnic differences, everyone works to create a comfortable learning environment for the children of Manado.
In 2008, Hong Kong Tima members held their first free health screening at Ting Shui Wai, and over the years, their services have expanded to other areas. Recently, Tima members joined hands with the Kowloon Technical School, and a free health checkup was held on campus, safeguarding the health of more than 200 local residents. But first, we go to Perth, Australia, where a dental-free clinic was organized to help the homeless and refugees taken in by the local Red Cross. This is the scene at Tzu's free dental clinic held in Perth, Australia. Today, Tima doctors are providing treatment for the homeless and refugees taken in by the local Red Cross.
I'm overwhelmed that their problems have been solved, most of them. Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm grateful to this Tuesday International Medical Association for this great job they are doing. Yeah. Yeah, because it's really good for them.
I just look at some of the x-rays and I just think, oh my God, those poor people. And then even if you can just like take a tooth out or two for them and do a filling and they just leave them, even if they can't speak much English to you, they just say appreciate and then I'm just like, oh, you go have a nice rest now.
Tzu Chi volunteers also seized the chance to introduce the Buddhist NGO and health education tips to those waiting for their turn to see a dentist.
I might just try to save a little bit of money and put in a little bit every day and try and help somebody else out.
This time, the dental-free clinic was held at Dr. Melanie Chan's dental clinic to provide patients with a comfortable and welcoming environment. Prior to the event, Tzu Chi volunteers thoughtfully decorated the venue. Thanks to everyone's effort, patients went home with a brighter smile. Meanwhile, in Hong Kong, Tima doctors are holding a free health screening at the Kowloon Technical School, safeguarding the body and mind of more than 200 residents. Knowing that many people are living under tremendous stress, Tima members thoughtfully set up a booth where participants can receive one-on-one psychotherapy sessions.
We're here to listen and comfort these residents. We ask them why they aren't able to sleep soundly. We're caring for them with sincerity.
To provide participants with a warm and welcoming atmosphere, Tzu Chi volunteers and students are on site to help out.
This free clinic left me with a comfortable feeling. Although this was the first time meeting Tzu Chi volunteers, all of them now seem like family.
It is not that easy to provide services like this in Hong Kong. We want to let members of the public know that TIMA members are not only here to safeguard their body, but also their mind.
6 years ago, Tzu Chi's first free health screening in Hong Kong was held at a basketball court in Ting Sui Wai. It has since expanded to other areas over the years. In the years to come, TIMA members promise to continue spreading their services to all corners of Hong Kong. In our next report, we meet Tima Dr. Zheng Longzhen in Kaohsiung, who provides free Chinese medicine services to needy patients. But first, let's follow in the Southern District Tima's footsteps to the Pingdong Nursing Home for Mentally Disabled to see how dentists tend to residents' dental problems and teach them how to maintain their oral hygiene.
Tima doctors are here at the Pingdong Nursing Home for Mentally Disabled to treat its residents' dental problems. Prior to the clinic, Tzu Chi volunteers accompany the residents to ease their anxious hearts.
Today I help these residents clean their teeth. Tooth decay is not a problem, but they need to pay attention to their dental hygiene.
Several Tzu Chi volunteers come together to help one patient receive the dental treatment, as Southern District Tima dentists carefully check up on patients' dental issues and teach them how to maintain good oral hygiene.
We know that keeping good oral hygiene is good for their general health, so we asked Tzu Chi volunteers to help us in this area.
开完了，
那还没看之前会不会怕？
不会。
示范你怎么刷牙。
Knowing that good oral hygiene is the key to a healthy life, Southern District Tima doctors will continue to provide necessary health care to those in need. Meanwhile, at a free clinic in Kaohsiung, Tima member Zheng Longzhen, a traditional Chinese medicine doctor, is there to offer his services to needy patients. To him, he cherishes his affinities with each patient.
Through each treatment, doctors should not only focus on treating patients, but also understanding their pain and suffering.
Dr. Zheng used to be an employee in a state-owned company before he passed the Chinese medicine exam and opened his own clinic. Now, Dr. Zheng often provides free healthcare services to his patients.
Some patients who cannot afford to see a doctor or don't have health insurance are welcome at my clinic.
Seeing countless smiles from his patients, Dr. Zheng has found himself bathed in the joy of giving, enriching his life as a TIMA doctor.
On March 30th, 82-year-old Tzu Chi volunteer Zhang Dexuan, who was an active medical volunteer, passed away due to lung cancer. Prior to his passing, Zhang said volunteering at Tzu Chi hospitals helped him discover his life's purpose and the impermanence of life. Greeting everyone with a smile, this is Tzu Chi volunteer Zhang Dexuan, who suffers from stage 4 lung cancer. Despite his sickness, Zhang says he wants to face the final stage of his life with a smile.
I've been working the Tzu Chi path for more than 20 years. I only have one wish, and that is, if I'm sick, I can pass away peacefully. I hope to come back again and follow the Master. Walking
the Tzu Chi path once again in his next life, this is Zhang Dexuan's only wish. Since meeting Tzu Chi some 20 years ago, Zhang has been volunteering at Daling and Hualien Tzu Chi hospitals on a monthly basis. As a medical volunteer, his experiences in the hospitals has helped him recognize the impermanence of life.
Thanks to the medical volunteers at Tzu Chi hospitals, many patients have realized their life purpose. Many have gained the courage to face the last stage of their life peacefully.
I am truly amazed by my father-in-law's spirit. Although he is suffering, he still faces everyone with a smile. He inspires me to reflect and to remind myself that I need to face everything with a smile too.
We need to walk the Tzu Chi path life after life. We need to seize the chance to become Tzu Chi volunteers.
Walking the path of enlightenment life after life, this is Zhang Dexuan's wish and is also the promise he has made to all Tzu Chi volunteers. It has been 5 months since Typhoon Haiyan struck the Philippines, and Tzu Chi's short-term relief work has ended. Today, as part of Tzu Chi's continuous efforts, many local volunteers have begun participating in collecting recyclables. Acknowledging the good Tzu Chi has done for Tacloban, a group of Chinese businessmen invited Tzu Chi volunteers to share the organization's missions and ideals so that they continue spreading Tzu Chi locally.
On behalf of Tacloban Chinese businesses, I want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts. In the past, we only did things to benefit ourselves, but Tzu Chi's spirit is to think about others. This is a great gesture on their behalf.
Witnessing Tzu Chi's efforts in Tacloban after Typhoon Haiyan, 30 local businessmen were inspired to continue spreading Tzu Chi's missions in the area. Hence, they invited Tzu Chi volunteers from Manila to explain Tzu Chi's ideals.
If no disaster struck Tacloban, then we might have never come to realize our mistakes and would have continued to bury our heads in only doing business.
Through the volunteers' introduction, many participants came to understand Tzu Chi's selfless ways and humanitarian spirit.
When the disaster hit Tacloban, Tzu Chi came to help us. I now understand their mission and why they are so willing to help. And knowing this, I respect my nephew even more.
I'm very grateful for Tzu Chi's help in enacting the casual work programs in Tacloban to assist our rebuilding efforts. I saw so many people coming to help us, and it inspired me to join their ranks and help others in the future.
They the pain that Typhoon Haiyan caused is slowly fading with time, and what remains is the love and hope that Tzu Chi planted in Tacloban.
No conversation on community disaster prevention would be complete without a look at how Tzu Chi volunteers have been part of that effort. Since 1997, volunteers have been establishing community-based networks in communities island-wide. With this framework in place, volunteers can now respond to disaster with speed and precision. Their efforts in building a community-based response team has also helped spread the idea that in a disaster, everyone has something to offer. Let's take a look.
With weather reports predicting a typhoon, volunteers immediately established an emergency response center.
We are worried about the rain in the mountains.
Monitoring the situation, volunteers keep Hualien Tzu Chi headquarters updated. Before every typhoon, volunteers will call on solitary seniors or those who live in low-lying areas with advice on how to stay safe. Such community-based volunteer efforts have been ongoing since 1997.
Since the master started this community volunteer program, volunteers have been working on behalf of communities on a daily basis. Therefore, when disasters do strike, it becomes much easier to bring everyone together and help the community recover faster.
During an emergency, Tzu Chi's Jingsi Hall and liaison offices become stepping stones from which volunteers reach out into communities. In 2012, after Typhoon Tenbin brought severe flooding to Hengchun, the Donggang Liaison Office was transformed into a kitchen, bringing hot meals to disaster survivors.
When a natural disaster strikes, our network is already in place. We will keep the local branches updated on the situation, and they can take the appropriate measures and help when needed.
Here in Pingdong's Jiadong district, following Typhoon Morakot, thanks to the hard work of volunteers like Li Guiyang, Tzu Chi is now one of the first organizations that local fire departments will call on in the face of an emergency.
Relief organizations such as the volunteer firefighters, the township office, the military, rescue association, and Tzu Chi, their numbers are all in here.
They are the first line of logistical support. For example, when looking for those who possibly drowned in Wenzi village, Tzu Chi volunteers were there with hot soup for our divers and rescue workers.
Joining the volunteers are also many who were once disaster survivors themselves. After becoming a volunteer, they become part of Tzu Chi's ever-growing disaster response network.
Typhoon Morakot was in 2009. He became certified in 2010. She is 2011, and she in 2012. The three are now our local contacts.
If a typhoon happens, I will check the water levels outside. In the past, I would not, but now I do it for the sake of the community.
This is all part of Tzu Chi's initiative to get every person involved in their community and to not only think about themselves and their family, but the good of the entire community.
When they become a Tzu Chi member or volunteer, we'll visit them to get to know them. In that way, we enlarge our network and can mobilize people faster when needed.
By holding regular events, Tzu Chi brings communities closer together. Thus, when disasters do strike, everyone rallies to bring support and aid where and when needed.
In Taipei's Zhongshan district lives 91-year-old Grandma Huang, who makes a living by collecting recyclables. However, after years of recycling, her house is now full of unused items, causing sanitation problems that need to be addressed as soon as possible. To help, over 20 Tzu Chi volunteers came together to help the grandma clear away the garbage, giving her house a fresh new look.
Packed with countless unused items and recyclables is the house where 91-year-old Grandma Huang lives. To give her a better living environment, over 20 Tzu Chi volunteers are here to help clean up.
Without the help of so many brothers and sisters, we could not have accomplished this. We would have been exhausted.
Volunteers clear away unused items at the same time as they give reusable furniture a thorough cleaning. Despite the hard work, no one complains.
Everyone comes together to get it done. We are happy to see our hard labor paying off.
Tzu Chi brothers and sisters spare no effort in helping this grandma clean up her house. Seeing this, I'm moved and I'm happy to take part in such a meaningful event.
During the cleaning, one volunteer persuades Grandma Huang to stop bringing unused items home. After clearing away 4 trucks of garbage and recyclables, the volunteers moving a second-hand bed.
This is the first time in my life to sleep on a comfortable bed like this. It is so good.
Thanks to Tzu Chi volunteers, Grandma Huang has once again found her smile as she realizes she will not be alone with the Tzu Chi family by her side.
Germany Tzu Chi volunteer Rudolf Puff has been among the volunteers working on the front lines to help those in need in Europe, including the survivors of the 2012 earthquake in Italy. However, the volunteers was recently hospitalized and his fellow counterparts visited him to wish him a speedy recovery.
Following the 2012 earthquake in Italy, Tzu Chi volunteers from all around Europe gathered their love to help the quake survivors. Among the volunteers was Rudolf Puff from Germany. Unfortunately, earlier this year, Rudolf Puff was hospitalized after becoming ill, and today his fellow volunteers are visiting him to send their love. Seeing familiar faces, Rudolf Puff is all smiles. Volunteers give Rudolf a massage in hopes of making him more comfortable. Volunteers also arrive at the home of a local Chinese resident, 78-year-old Mr. Chen, who has been a diabetes patient for over 4 decades. The presence of the volunteers lights up the atmosphere at the senior couple's home. Volunteers also invite the pair to join them at the Buddha Day ceremony come May.
You can come to join us. We are all Buddhas and we can celebrate the Buddha's birthday together.
Once again, the love and care of Tzu Chi volunteers brings warmth to those around them.
We go back to Taiwan at the end of the show in Taipei to encourage more people to walk the Bodhisattva path. Tzu Chi volunteers in Beitou District have been promoting the NGO's philosophy at the local traditional market every Thursday. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.